Most people spend their entire lives trying to answer one question: how can I make more money? They believe that a higher salary, a better job, or a promotion will finally give them the financial freedom they want. But what if the problem isn't how much money you make? What if the problem is that nobody ever taught you how money actually works? Think about it. From a young age, we are told to get good grades, go to university, find a stable career, and work hard. And those things can absolutely be valuable, but there is one important skill that many people never learn: how to make the money they earn create more money. This is the idea that made Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad one of the most influential personal finance books ever written. The book tells the story of two different approaches to life and money. One approach focuses on security: get a stable job, earn a paycheck, and avoid risks. The other focuses on opportunity: learn how money works, build valuable assets, and create financial independence. The purpose of this book was not to say that having a job is bad or that everyone should become an entrepreneur. The deeper message is that your financial future depends not only on your income, but on your understanding of money. In this video, we will explore 4 powerful ideas inspired by Rich Dad Poor Dad that can completely change the way you think about wealth. Because sometimes the biggest obstacle between you and financial success isn't your bank account, it's your mindset. Lesson 1. Escaping the cycle of trading time for money. Imagine 2 people. They both wake up every morning, go to work, and earn a salary. On paper, their lives look almost identical, but there is one major difference. One person spends every increase in income immediately. A better salary means a nicer car, a bigger apartment, more expensive habits. The other person uses extra income to build things that can generate more income in the future. After 10 years, their lives may look completely different. The first person might earn more money than ever before, but still feel trapped. Why? Because their lifestyle depends entirely on their next paycheck. The second person may have built investments, businesses, or income-producing assets that give them more choices. This is one of the biggest ideas behind Rich Dad Poor Dad. There is a difference between earning money and building wealth. Most people are trained to exchange time for money. You work an hour, you get paid for that hour. You stop working, the income stops. But wealth is created when you build things that continue producing value without requiring every minute of your time. This doesn't mean becoming lazy. Building assets usually requires enormous effort in the beginning. The difference is that the effort creates something that can continue working for you. The question changes from how many hours can I work to what can I build today that will still benefit me years from now? That single change in thinking is where financial independence begins. Lesson 2. Understanding what actually makes you wealthy. One of the most memorable concepts connected to Rich Dad Poor Dad is the difference between assets and liabilities. The idea is simple. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out. But the reason this idea is so powerful is because many people confuse the two. Imagine someone buys an expensive car. They might feel successful. They might receive compliments. People might assume they are wealthy. But every month, their car requires payments, insurance, fuel, and maintenance. The car is not creating money, it is consuming money. Now imagine someone else uses the same amount of money to buy investments that generate income. From the outside, they may look less successful. Maybe they drive an older car. Maybe they don't show their wealth. But their money is producing more money. Over time, that difference becomes enormous. The lesson is not that enjoying life is wrong. Everyone should enjoy the rewards of their hard work. The lesson is about priorities. Many people buy expensive things first and hope their future income will support them. People who build wealth often do the opposite. They focus on creating income-producing assets first. Then those assets help pay for the lifestyle they want. A simple question can completely change your financial decisions. Is this purchase helping me build wealth, or is it making me dependent on future income? The more often you ask that question, the more intentional your financial choices become. Lesson 3. Financial knowledge is a superpower. Imagine giving two people the same amount of money. One person understands investing, businesses, taxes, and money management. The other person has never learned any of those things. Do you think they will use that money the same way? Probably not. Money itself is just a tool. The person using the tool determines the result. This is why financial education is so important. Many people spend years learning how to become valuable employees. They learn a profession, they develop skills, they improve their careers. But very few people are taught how to manage the money they earn. They are not taught how investments work. They are not taught how businesses create value. They are not taught how financial decisions made today can affect their future. And without that knowledge, even a high income can disappear. We have seen examples throughout history of people who earned enormous amounts of money but lost it because they didn't understand how to manage it. The lesson is clear. Making money and keeping money are two different skills. Financial education is an investment because knowledge compounds. The more you understand, the better decisions you can make. The better decisions you make, the more opportunities you can recognize. And sometimes, the opportunity that changes your life is not obvious to everyone. It's only obvious to someone who has learned how to see it. Lesson 4. Building freedom through ownership. Most people think about wealth as having a lot of money sitting in a bank account. But true financial freedom is not just about having money. It's about having control. Control over your time, control over your decisions, control over your future. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that your basic expenses are covered by income from investments or businesses you own. You can still work, you can still create, you can still pursue ambitious goals. But you are no longer working because you have no choice. You are working because you choose to. That is the difference between needing money and having financial freedom. Of course, building this type of freedom takes time. There is no magic shortcut. It requires learning, patience, discipline, and making intelligent decisions consistently. A person doesn't become financially independent by buying one investment. They do it by repeatedly making choices that move them closer to ownership. Every asset built is another step towards independence. Every financial skill learned creates another advantage. The goal is not simply to become rich. The goal is to create a life where money supports your goals instead of controlling them. Rich Dad Poor Dad became famous because it challenged one of the most common beliefs about money, that the only path to success is working harder and earning a bigger paycheck. The book's deeper message is that financial success starts with education and mindset. It teaches 4 important ideas. First, don't spend your entire life only trading time for money. Second, understand the difference between things that build wealth and things that consume wealth. Third, invest in your financial knowledge because better decisions create better results. And finally, focus on ownership, building assets and systems that give you more freedom over time. Not every idea from the book will apply perfectly to every person, and financial decisions should always be based on careful research. But the questions it encourages you to ask are incredibly valuable. Instead of asking, "How can I afford this?" start asking, "How can I build something that helps me afford this?" Because the journey toward financial freedom doesn't begin with money. It begins with changing the way you think about it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more timeless lessons from the world's greatest investing and business books, consider subscribing. Until the next time, Invest wisely, stay patient, and never stop learning.